Welcome to Integrate's Who Has Time for This series. In this video, we're going to be discussing cardio and what a balanced relationship with that looks like and what the goal is when dealing with cardio, what you can do minimally to actually have it incorporated and get the benefits and still have time to do everything else that we want and need to do in life. So it is very important to work the cardiovascular system. It keeps your heart strong and it helps you, do a basic thing to being able to talk when you walk and things like that. So we really do need to work our cardio system one way or another. There's different areas of cardio fitness that needs to be addressed and worked on. One of them is the ability to just raise your heart rate to a higher level and be able to sustain it over, periods of time. The other parts of the cardiovascular system that needs to be worked is the ability for your heart rate to drop back to resting. You want to be able to do that in a short amount of time where it doesn't take hours for your heart rate to come back down if you spike it. And of course, endurance, how long you can maintain certain heart rates, either higher or low, for extended periods of time. So with that, it really doesn't actually need to look like hours and hours of cardio every week to actually have a healthy relationship with that. So I have found a little golden zone here, which is if you can run a mile in about 12 minutes or less, then you have pretty good cardio function to actually be able to have a good relationship with the cardiovascular system, and that will, help and improve other areas of your life. And that's really doable because if you do 12 minutes once a week, that is less than 10 and a half hours a year. So all you need to do is be able to get to a point where you can put about 10 and a half hours a year into your cardiovascular system to actually maintain it and keep it running good. So that is the goal to work up to. And then of course, if you really love cardio and you want to be that marathon runner or you want to dance all the time, go for it. I'm just talking about the minimal standards so that you kind of have a picture of what to go for, so you don't feel like you have to spend hours and hours on a treadmill every week. So let's talk about training ways to actually get to that goal. Because most likely, if you are not a runner, you're not going to be able to go out your door and hit that 12-minute mark right off the bat. And you're going to need training. And you really should go through a training plan to progress towards this goal. That way, you're not injuring yourself. You need to be doing proper warm-ups before you run and things like that. And obviously, if you have health considerations and things like that, running might not be an option for you. But hopefully this video will be able to kind of give you an ideal of what you're going for in your cardiovascular system so you can find some kind of equivalent that will work. But running really is just like a primal exercise that I really think is a standard that most people should work towards being able to do. Because at the very least, if you're a parent, you need to be able to take after and catch your toddler. If a car jumps a sidewalk, you need to be able to get out of the way, and having the ability to run is useful. And like me, as a fitness instructor, I use my ability to run all the time just to be able to maintain the ability to talk while teaching classes. It's a very useful skill to have, and it also has extra benefits such as building up bone, maintaining your joints, and things like that. So what a training program might look like, there's plenty online that you can look for, but basically you first need to see where you are at. So you need to get out and walk. Adding distance is the first goal here. You want to be able to walk and build up to walking a mile. And once you're able to build up to a mile, then you can start having fun with it. So a good way to do a training thing is just to do short bursts of jogging, and then recover, walk. Short bursts of jogging and recover. See, because that works the cardiovascular system where you're spiking it and you're working on your recovery rate coming down. And that's why it's very good to train that way when you're trying to build up to being able to run a mile. Because that recovery rate is a very important part of cardiovascular health that is neglected. So you're able to train that while building up. And then you just increase the amount of running over time until you can eventually run that mile without stopping. And then once you hit where you can actually run, then you can start running on speed. And when you're running on speed, you can start thinking about doing things like sprint intervals, like going all out for 20 seconds and then recovering for as long as you need to, even up to 5 minutes, and then going 20 seconds again. And you only have to really do that once a week. And sprint interval training is a very fast way to build up your max in your lungs and to be able to increase that. And there's a bunch of different other training methods, but those are some of them. And then once you're able to get that mile, then you just have to maintain it. You can either just go out and run that mile once a week. You can, or you can, if you have different training methods that you end up liking, you can train different things each different week. And then you have a good lung capacity, breath, and things like that. And then there you go. You get your mile done. You've done your good health for your heart and your cardiovascular system. And then you can move on with the rest of your life and working in the rest of your training that you need to do to have well-balanced health. So I hope that makes sense, and I hope to see you in another video. Please check out the rest of our How Do I Have Time for This series, and thank you for watching.